Well, hello again. It's Debbie Gilbert here with IGOT Communities. Today, I'm going to be cooking another recipe that goes along with the Autoimmune Solution Diet. This particular recipe is not in the cookbook, but all the ingredients are cleared through the cookbook. This is actually a cabbage salad. And I found this salad on another website called Women of Today. So through the month of September, all month long, you should visit the website Women of Today if you were thinking about taking control of your diet. The whole month of September, they are answering questions about sugar and trying to completely eliminate added sugar to their diets. So it's a great inspiration and lots of exciting talks, lots of very good information about inflammation and sugar, and a lot of great recipes. So I hope you check out Women of Today. But in the meantime, I'm going to fix this cabbage salad. Now, normally if I were just cooking for my husband and I would make about a half recipe, but I'm going to make the full recipe because tomorrow I'm going to take some of this salad down to my hairdresser. And I was with her today and she was sharing with me that her husband also suffers from really severe arthritis. So a lot of arthritis is so related to the foods we eat. And so being on this journey for going on my 10th week now, I'm down about 34 pounds in 10 weeks. 34 pounds. Exercising every day. Yesterday I walked 4 miles. Today I haven't walked yet because my ankle's just a little bit swollen. I'm just giving it a little time to rest. So I'll do some other exercises later today to get my heart rate up. But diet, exercise, meditation, trying to lower stress levels and just calm myself. So I'll be talking about that later on through the week, about how important it is to learn to be mindful of the day we're in instead of stressing and worrying about things we can't change about our past or things we can't even know about our future. So I hope you'll continue to join me through this month. So let's get started. I'm going to use this, it's a mandolin V slicer, and it's really sharp, so you have to be careful not to slash your hands off. But I have in here my julienne blade that I cut with because it makes a great cut for this salad. It makes a very fine cut for the cabbage and the apples and onions. So the recipe consists of cabbage, red onion, apple, olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and salt and pepper. So let me get started with this. Now, cabbage, if you know, it's a little tricky to slice up unless you're putting it maybe in a food processor when you get it started. But with this, you just go back and forth. And I usually have cabbage everywhere when I'm doing this. So I'm just going to dice it up. And when I'm working with this recipe, I'm using my hands a lot. So I've already washed my hands and taken care of all of that kind of business. Now, after I get so much, and you can see here how finely and nice this has diced up, but I'll add that to the bowl. And it'll take me just a few minutes to get all of this diced up. When the big leaves kind of fall off, I'm just going to lay them to the side or do away with those so we don't have big chunks in. I hope your day's been really great. It's been a wonderful day here in Kentucky. The day after Labor Day, the weather is just absolutely beautiful. It's in the 80s here. It's been in the 70s this weekend. But, you know, part of being well is being able to be grateful and thankful, whatever the situation is. But on these beautiful days, it's especially easy to be so thankful for the weather that we're enjoying. Okay, just a little while to do this slicing. One thing that Tracy was telling me today, she said, you know, the way my schedule is and our schedule is, we eat out so often because of our work schedule, and I know that that's true about a lot of people. And so when you're doing things like this, you can make a whole bowl. This will last in the refrigerator hold really good all week long, and so you can eat it, and every day that it's in there, it just gets just a little bit better as it all just seeps in together. So, you know, if you can make some things, and all week long you can just enjoy it, so you don't have to plan for a lot of it. And you can chop up however you like to chop lettuce. My grandmother, she used to have an old-fashioned hand grater. I used that for years and years when I started cooking. I know that some of you watched the other day when I was making the cinnamon raisin cookies, and I was telling you about how I'd always had cravings ever since I've been a little child, and that I don't crave things the way I used to, because used to, if I made cookies on Thursday, they were gone by Thursday, not a Friday. And so that's not my story right now in my life anymore, and I'm really grateful for that. In part, the biggest reason why that has happened is taking those first 30 days to get off sugar, any kind of sugar products. And so, you know, I can walk by those cookies, look at them, smile at them, and think, you know, I'll have you with some tea later. But it's really a great thing to be free from foods that cause us to be a slave to them. I was listening on Women of Today to one of the talk hosts, and she was talking about how that sugar, and I knew this from being a counselor, sugar goes to the same neuropathways actually that other drugs do that cause addiction. So sugar is very addictive, and what we need to realize that sugar is added to so much processed food, and in part because it tastes good and it addicts us. And what she was saying is, you know, you can have 1 teaspoon of sugar today, but when you go back tomorrow, 1 teaspoon is not hardly enough, and it takes just a little more to satisfy. And I think that's also true about the addiction for drugs and just lots of other things that happen. And it doesn't even have to be food. It's whatever gives you pleasure in your brain that causes you to want to come back to that. So for me, eliminating sugar has for sure taken away a lot of the cravings that I've had. I tell people all the time, I'm definitely not a professional when it comes to my cooking show. I'm just a woman with a plan who's been able to help myself a little bit, and hoping that I can help anyone else along the way, because I know some of the pain that I've been through with rheumatoid arthritis, and wouldn't wish that for anybody's life. I've almost got this bowl full, so I'm going to stop with that much, because that is a whole bowl of cabbage. Just lay this to the side. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is the red onion. So, because I've got such a big bowl, I'm going to do a whole onion in that. And this slices this up super fast and great. I love this little slicer. A friend of mine is LaDonna, and she has a catering service, and used to, I had a lot to do with that at an event center, and so LaDonna got me this, and I love it. It's great for slicing tomatoes and most anything. So, but it's super sharp. Okay, so you can see how this sliced up. It's just really great little slices for the salad. Okay, next I'm gonna do, I've already washed the apples, And so I'm just gonna get these all sliced up same way. My daughter-in-law made a visit with her children last week to a local apple orchard. Well, it's about 35 miles away from here, Haney's, and I went to their house over the weekend, and she was making apple butter in her crock pot. So that would be a good recipe to show you guys at some point. But I just love cooking. I cook with senior adult communities. We've made a senior adult cookbook, and so I'm busy with that. You can go on to our website at IGOTcommunities.com, and we have our cookbook online. That's just regular food. It's definitely not the Autoimmune Solution. But the Autoimmune Solution is a cookbook that Dr. Amy Myers put together, and Dr. Myers is from, I think, the Austin, Texas area, but she really understands what it means to have inflammation and how food is connected with that inflammation, and particularly how sugar is connected to inflammation. This is going to make a big salad here. So far what we have in here is cabbage, red onion, and apple. Now, I'm adding to this big bowl, I'm adding 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And I try to use organic products. I use Bragg's apple cider vinegar and organic olive oil. We're adding the vinegar. And I think I've got 2 tablespoons of that in there. And this is the juice of 1 lemon, 1 fresh lemon. And then I ground some pepper, and I have some Himalayan sea salt. So I'm going to add that in there. Now, when I mix this, I'm just going to take my hands and mix it up. And part of the reason why I do this is because I want to, well, it's how I learned to cook. My grandmother always cooked with her hands, and making biscuits and dumplings and things that she would make. But also, you know, sometimes I need to feel this texture and feel the consistency down in here, because we may need, because this is such a big bowl, I may need to add some more olive oil and some more vinegar. I'm going to grill chicken tonight. My husband's working a little late. He's at a meeting, but I'm going to put some chicken on the grill and serve this on the side. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you'll try it, and can't wait to take Tracy some tomorrow. And until I see you again, just keep living.